Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. In today's show, we're going to react to the preseason Week 3 loss where the Giants fell to the Jets 31-27. The Jets put together a game-winning drive after Davis Webb led the Giants down there to get up on top. Giants fall 31-27. Some quick stats. Davis Webb played a lot. He played all three quarters. The last three quarters after Tyrod Taylor had that injury, we'll break that down. But Davis, he had a good game. 30 of 38, 202 yards and a touchdown. I think he's earned a roster spot. I truly do. I think Giants are going to carry three QBs this year, and Davis Webb will be that third one. I also liked what I saw from Jashaun Corbin, the undrafted free agent out of Florida State. He just runs the ball hard. He's decisive. I like the way he sticks his foot in the ground and get north and south. He's also a guy that is good out of the backfield. Picked up that fourth down on that swing pass. Good play design by Kafka. I'm a big fan of him. Austin Allen, the undrafted tight end, also had 4 receptions for 40 yards. The Jets, Mike White played good, and their best player on the field today was Denzel Mims, 7 receptions. Guy was talking about asking for a release or to be traded. 7 grabs for 100 yards and a touchdown. That might have been his last act as a Jet, trying to up his trade value. Although the Giants lost, I want to ask you this question. Who was the Giants' MVP against the Jets? I'm rolling with Davis Webb. I think Davis Webb has been the MVP all preseason long, to be quite frank with you. I like what I've seen from him. 30 of 38 today. He was efficient, took care of the football, and he was clutch in preseason week 1 and preseason week 2, 2 game-winning drives. So I'll go Davis Webb, but I'll ask you guys, who was the MVP for the Giants today? Before we get to an injury update on Tyrod Taylor, I want to give some love to you guys, all the people that super chatted out there, and I'll answer your questions. OBJ signs for $2 million deal. I don't think OBJ is going to sign with the team until October, November, December. Tore his ACL in February, so he's still got some months to get back. No reason for him to really sign with the team before he's healthy. I think he's going to latch on to a team that's contending for a Super Bowl. He's been flirting a little bit on Twitter, though, about playing for the Giants again one day. He was flirting on Twitter, flirting on Instagram. I love OBJ. I'd love to see him back. If you want to see OBJ back with the Giants, type 13 in the comments section. Thank you, John. Shout out to Euphoric Music Group. Solid preseason, all things considered. Now I just want to rest up and get healthy for week 1 with the best 53 we got. Let's go. 100% on the same page. I like what I saw in the preseason. Some things to build on, some things you got to address and get better at. A lot of injuries, for sure. Giants have 14 days until they take on the Titans week 1. So you got to get healthy. Got to get guys like Thibodeau, Shane Lemieux. You got to get healthy. Usually the most healthy teams win games, and right now Giants aren't that. Euphoric Music Group, appreciate your super chat. Shout out to my guy CFA. Besides injuries, what's your biggest concern for the Giants this year? I'd say the secondary. I thought the secondary kind of got lit up at times through the preseason. I thought they kind of got beat a little bit by the Patriots week 1. Bengals not so much week 2, but this week I thought the Jets could kind of pass the ball as they wanted to pretty easily. So I'd go with the depth at the cornerback spot. I'm always worried about injuries with the Giants. And speaking of injuries, let's talk about Tyrod Taylor, who left and either was late in the first quarter or really early to start the second quarter with a back injury. He took a hit, really kind of nasty hit during the game, and was on the ground for a little while and got up to his feet, jogged off, but once he got to the sideline, didn't really seem like he was all really in a good spot. So that's probably the biggest injury coming out of today's game. There was also injuries. Daniel Bellinger and Jalen Holmes were both being evaluated for concussions. So you got 2 guys right there, the rookie tight end Bellinger and the veteran Jalen Holmes trying to make this roster. But the biggest injury coming out of today's game is Tyrod Taylor. Type 2 in the comments to hope and wish a speedy recovery for Taylor going into the season. And also, this is why you subscribe. This is why you hit that big red button. Daily videos on the latest Giants news and rumors. We do live shows for the games. We do post-game shows. We do pre-game shows. We go live every single Wednesday. We put out videos every single day. So if you're looking for a one-stop shop on YouTube that puts out Giants-themed content every single day, we're your channel. Hit that big red button. Help us get to 11,000 subscribers. We're 100 away. Let's get there as soon as possible. Let's take some questions here. Shout out to Mr. Assassin. How do you think Saquon will ball out? How many receptions do you think he will get? He could break the record for receptions. So I think Saquon's going to have a good year. The only thing that really matters, I think, with Saquon at this point in his career is being healthy. If he's healthy, if he's available, the talent will take over, and he's going to have a good year because it's going to be the best offensive line he's had so far through his NFL career. And as we've seen in preseason, some of the Giants running backs like Antonio Williams and Jashaun Corbin and Gary Brightwell have gotten a heavy diet of receptions out of the backfield. And I'm expecting the same for Saquon. I'm expecting a big year for 26. I know he had 90 receptions his rookie year. Let's get back to 70, 80 receptions for number 26. NYG Giants fan, 123. Do you think Alex Bachman makes the lineup? The final 53-man roster, it's going to be tough for Alex Bachman to make it. I thought he played great against the Bengals. Didn't really see him all that much out there today. Not that many receptions. He had, let me look at the exact numbers here. 6 grabs, 27 yards. He's dependable. He's going to catch the football, give you some a little bit of juice on special teams. I'm a big fan of Bachman, but just with the positional squeeze the Giants have at the wide receiver room, I think it's going to be tough for Bachman to make this roster. I think it's going to come down to him or Richie James. I think Giants like Richie James a little bit more, but I think Bachman might actually be a better football player. Gary Gaston, Marshy, give us your 53-man roster projection. So I'm not going to go through all 53 players right now. We'll be doing a video on that before the Giants cut down their roster, Gary. So subscribe, hit that big red button, turn your notifications on, so when we do put out a video, you can stay in the know. But what about a surprise cut candidate? What about Quincy Roche? I think he's kind of buried on this depth chart, and I think he's a good football player, but I think he's not going to make it. Just going off of what we've seen reps-wise through preseason and training camp, I think Roche is a good player, but might be on the bubble and on the wrong side of the bubble when it comes to this 53-man roster. Scout, where's your confidence in the Giants going into week 1? It's going to be a tough game against the Titans. They're going to be able to run the hell out of the football. And with Kayvon Thibodeau maybe not playing, you're going to need a big game from Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams. Hopefully Azeez Ojulari will be ready week 1. I know he had that calf injury. You need a full 100% Blake Martinez. It's going to be tough to beat the Titans. They're a good team. I think they were the best team in the AFC last year. Very winnable game. It's going to be tough. You're going to need big games out of Giants playmakers on offense and defense. Force a couple turnovers. Have the ball bounce your way a little bit. But winnable game, no doubt about it. Pretty confident, but I wouldn't guarantee a win by any means. Shout out to Mike. What are the chances Corbin and Doss make the team and have some type of impact during the season? I think Corbin has a better chance than Keelan Doss to make the roster and especially have an impact. Giants are kind of deep at running back. You could tell they like Antonio Williams. Matt Breida started the game today, got a couple of carries. I think he's a lock to make this roster. I think it's going to come down to Gary Brightwell or Jashaun Corbin, who makes the final 53. I'd go with Corbin. I think he's a little more explosive. I like how hard Brightwell runs. Brightwell gives you a little bit more juice on special teams, as in like punt team and kick off, and while Corbin can be a kick returner or a punt returner. Whichever one of those guys I think will have a role this upcoming season. I don't think Doss is going to make the roster, though. He had an uphill battle. Good for him, though. Made the roster after a tryout. Had a couple good catches, but I think just a numbers game, and I think he's going to be on the outside looking in. Shout out to Gianluca. Did the rookies improve through the preseason, and do you think they are going to be ready for week 1? I thought everybody on the team got better every single week, and that's kind of just what you're looking for in the preseason. You're looking for people to get better. I thought Jashaun Corbin got better. I thought Wan'Dale Robinson, he didn't really ever produce in the preseason, but he had a good reverse run today against the Jets. I thought DJ Davidson looked good. I thought Ryder looked good. Yusuf Corker, I thought, got better and better. Devery Hamilton, not really a rookie, but a young player as well. I thought the young players got better, and that's what you're looking for. Hopefully Kayvon Thibodeau, Cordell Flott, Daniel Bellinger, and Shane Lemieux are ready to go week 1 injury-wise, though. Sean Hayes, who's going to have a better season, Wan'Dale or Kadarius? I drafted Kadarius on my fantasy team. I'm thinking about Wan'Dale. Am I dumb? No, you're not dumb. I think Wan'Dale Robinson's going to have a good year. We know Kadarius Toney is one of the most talented players in the NFL, no doubt about it. But is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be able to be out there? Is he going to play all 17 games? So my biggest concern right now with Kadarius Toney is his inability to stay available and be on the field. Because when he's there, he's going to produce. It's just about health with him. I think Wandale's going to have a big year, and I think he's going to surprise some people at the downfield threat he is in the receiving game. I don't think you could have gone wrong with either one, but I think Wandale probably a better option is buy low and produce for sure. I like that. Good question, Sean. CFA, love the effort of the team. Webb looked great. Only thing we need to stay healthy and get more depth. 100%. I expect the Giants to be buyers on the waiver wire once teams cut down from 80 to 53 players. And Giants are going to pick up a couple of guys. Probably look at the wide receiver, tight end, O-line, linebacker, and cornerback spot. I know I just named like half the roster, but I expect them to be buyers. This is a team that didn't have NFL talent amongst the roster, and the waiver wire is a good opportunity to add some guys that don't make other teams' 53-man roster. Samuel Banks, we still Corbin over Williams? We still Corbin or Williams? I think I would go with Jashaun Corbin. No, sorry. I would go with Williams over Corbin, but Corbin over Brightwell. If I had to rank the three, I think Antonio Williams has earned the third back. I think Corbin's that fourth back. I think Brightwell is your fifth back. But I see the Giants keeping four backs, and I could see Corbin, Williams, Barkley, and Breida making the roster. Sucks kind of for Brightwell. Got hurt, didn't play preseason week 2. I thought that hurt him a little bit. Sean Hayes, now that we've seen D. Jones looking pretty good thus far, if we at least make a wild card, will the Giants re-sign him? Yeah, I think that the Giants have to make the playoffs, honestly, for Daniel Jones to be back. I think it's that cut and dry. Because if you don't make the playoffs, probably going to have a good pick, and you may be able to move up from there in the draft and go get your guy. But I think playoffs is the determining factor for if Daniel Jones gets a contract extension. It's all on DJ's shoulder. He's in his prime spot as a competitor. You want to be able to control what you can control. And right now he has an opportunity to prove to himself, this team, this franchise in the NFL, they can be a starting quarterback. If he doesn't, probably get a backup job next year, not with the Giants. I'll ask you this question, though, Sean. I appreciate you. Do you believe in Daniel Jones? Do you believe in him? Is he the guy? Is he QB1? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. Tutu with $5 super chat, my guy. We are very disappointed with special teams. They can't tackle, all BS. They ain't playing. They're salsa dancing and wasting my valuable time. I wouldn't get too worked up, Tutu, about preseason special teams. A lot of that is just, you don't really talk too much scheme on special teams in the preseason because a lot of those guys aren't going to be on the roster and be on your special teams going into the season. Love the enthusiasm. Love that you love these Giants. Thank you for being a Super Chat MVP of today's show. I'm more concerned about the tackling on the outside. Cordell Flott missing that tackle. Jets had a lot of room after broken tackles and yards after broken tackles. Got to get better on defensive tackling. Juan, should we be concerned about cornerback 3? Absolutely. I'm concerned about cornerback 2. I like Adoree Jackson, but I'm worried about Aaron Robinson. I'm worried about Rodarius Williams. I'm worried about Khalil Dorsey, Zion Gilbert, Maurice Kennedy, I think Kennedy actually got cut. But I'm worried about this team in the secondary department. Expect them to be active on the waiver wire trying to pick up another corner. Samuel Banks, what do you think about Austin Calitro? Been making some plays. Absolutely. Had that pick in the early part of the preseason. Jumped on a fumble today. Had another pick that got called back. Or he had a pick 6. So 2 turnovers, 2 forced turnovers, 3 turnovers in general after he fell on that fumble. Look, it's about splash plays and making plays, and Calitro's done that. Can he make this roster? Sure. It's going to be between him and Carter Coughlin, I think, who's going to be that last inside linebacker. Euphoric. Sills makes this roster by default with all the injuries for sure now. By default, I don't know. I think Colin Johnson being out for the year due to that Achilles kind of helps a guy like David Sills. I think they're going to want to replace a big body with a big body. And just the chemistry with David Sills that Daniel Jones has definitely works in his favor. I wouldn't say for sure, but I'd say there's a 60, 70, 75% chance that David Sills makes this roster. This is why you subscribe. Hit that big red button. Subscribe for videos every single day on the latest Giants news and rumors. You guys are real ones. If you're a real one, you're subscribed, drop a real one in the comments. Last one. Do you think the Giants make the playoffs? No. I want them to. I'm going to pray that they do. Going to be tough. Nah. Kevin, sorry, I don't. I think 7, 8, 9 wins. Maybe you get hot, right? You got an easy schedule. Win some games you're not supposed to win some games you're supposed to win. But overall, no, I do not think the Giants make the playoffs. We're going to bounce out of here with this last question. Grade the offense's performance tonight. You didn't see Daniel Jones. You didn't see Saquon. Kenny Golladay was out there. 14 snaps. Nothing. No production. Grade the offense tonight. A, B, C, D, or F. And we'll see you later on the next New York Giants Now.